Dari aku. Hello everyone! Welcome to Dewan Punit Indonesia, the English version! We're trying out something quite different tonight. We're going live for the very first time! Hi!
Yay! We are live! Hello!
Still with me, Coach Caroline, Adiani, and of course, Firzi Idris.
Hello,
We're missing
hello.
someone here actually
Yeah.
tonight, Kiko Enrico.
That's his
Yeah,
seat.
that's his seat.
It's a seat reserved
Yeah.
for Kiko.
Where is he now? Korea,
Kiko
Japan,
or Aldi.
Japan?
I can't wait to hear about Dalot again
Oh,
between
yeah,
you
yeah.
guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
please. I think Kiko went back already.
Kiko,
He's still in Jakarta,
Mr.
but he's,
Vacation
like,
Man.
having other-
Yeah. He's always vacation.
Always.
Everywhere.
Every day is a vacation.
Yeah.
Man. Lucky him.
Okay.
Right, so before we start, I think we should read some of the comments that you guys have written us. Lama, boy. We literally have just started, you
I can-
guys.
yeah.
Bismillah,
I found it
PSG
difficult.
juara. Right, so we're going to talk about the Champions League in a bit. But before that, bahas kasus pemain Barcelona ngeludahin Acerbi. Did that happen? Really? Did that happen?
We need to find the clip on that
The
one.
clip on that
footage.
one.
Yeah, I don't.
Because
I
there's a lot of
haven't heard about
flashpoints in that
A
match.
lot,
Yeah.
A lot.
Ooh.
And are we going straight to this?
No,
The
I
topic? No.
Oh, yeah, no. Okay.
Just reading
Somewhere,
the
yeah.
comments and
Just reading
someone
the
comments.
mentioned that,
Arsenal
so
match.
Okay.
I asked, did that really happen? Because I haven't heard anything about it before.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Possibly?
Yeah, even
Maybe.
at halftime.
Yeah.
Problems everywhere with the.
There's a lot of flashpoints
Yeah, a lot of
between
flashpoints.
players and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What a game.
What a game, yeah.
It was one of the most exhilarating match
Yeah.
I've ever watched.
One
in
of
my
the
entire
I
life.
think,
Seriously, yeah.
top three, two-legged affair. That's
Yeah,
top three in the
yeah.
Champions League.
Yeah, because I mean, you've got that 3-3 on the first leg, and you don't
Yeah.
exactly know what will happen in the second leg. You go into that match with the expectations of maybe it will
Starting
be
from
like a
zero.
0-0.
Yeah.
Maybe they
No.
expend all their energy, but what the hell? Make it 4-3. Yeah.
The downside is it's not 7-7. I always wanted to see a 7-7.
7-7
Yeah.
It was
aggregate
still
score.
pretty heartbreaking though for me because we had it. It was 3-2 for
Yeah.
Barcelona, and then
I think internationally we're
Stuff
out.
happened.
We're out at that
We're out.
moment in
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
But then the miracle of football happened.
Yeah, that.
yeah. But
That's
anyway, pakai bahasa Indo aja nggak mau. Well, this is the English version.
Are they
so
surprised?
we're
Are they
gonna
surprised when we
we're
pop
gonna
out?
Talk in
Yeah.
English for
Talk in
now.
English, yeah.
You can watch the regular DPI every Monday, if I'm not mistaken. Monday and Friday.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh, one
Friday.
day, Monday,
Friday,
Wednesday,
yeah.
Friday. Yeah, but Thursday is for DPI English version, okay? Dua kata lucu, Arsenal juara.
Arsenal juara, yeah.
Juara di hatinya Aldi sih always. I think they're always going to be
Yeah, I
the
think the
winner
timeline is
for
the winner
Aldi.
here because we see the timeline is all about Arsenal, it's all about Mikel Arteta, it's all
Yeah.
about people always find funny ways to describe.
Always.
Yeah.
To describe Arsenal? Oh my
Arsenal.
gosh, no. Even Paris Saint-Germain, they know
Even
how
Paris.
to describe the fun side of
We're actually
PSG.
going to talk about Arsenal
Yeah.
and PSG in a few bit, but before that, I want to remind you guys that you guys are always welcome to ask some questions. You can write it in Bahasa, and we're going to answer it
Yeah.
in English. So please just write down your questions. Nanti bakal kita bacain ya. Okay, so
Okay.
first topic of the day. We're going to dive straight into the madness that went down at the Parc the Prince. Let's talk about the match first. What exactly went wrong for Arsenal? They played so well against Madrid, but couldn't break through PSG.
That's the problem because they were champions against Madrid.
They're champions.
Champions League champions. Arsenal beating Real Madrid. That is all.
Yeah.
Finished, done.
Finished,
Yeah.
done. After that, it's all.
After that, and then there's the tifo.
Yeah,
The
tifo,
tifo
the
thingy.
tifo,
After
yeah.
that tifo, we know that Arsenal is going down.
The
Yeah,
enlarged JPEG in the Emirates Stadium.
It's like what was that? A blanket?
Yeah, blanket, yeah. It's
No,
like,
but honestly, what was the problem for Arsenal going against PSG? Was PSG just too powerful for them, or
You want to answer first?
yeah, maybe. Scoring goals definitely is the problem because they
As always.
registered, I think, 3.77 expected goals against PSG, but only scored one. There's 17 goals in the 4 matches of the semifinals between both legs, and Arsenal only scored one of them.
yeah,
It definitely is not a good
Omen sign.
omen sign But it is what they are experiencing now this season, because this is the 5th month of 2025, the month of May, and their top scorer in the Premier League is still Kai Havertz with 9 goals, and he is out of action since February. Scoring goals is a lot of problem for them, but scoring goals, the no recognized striker, it's a problem. But they met Gigi Donnarumma back to his best. The nightmare for a lot of England fans after Euro 2020. But when we saw what happened, where that first 15-20 minutes, if Arsenal can just get that elusive one goal, Declan Rice with the header and Martinelli's close range effort. But after that, Paris can exploit them with pace, exploit them on the counter. I think we just see 2.90 expected goals number. Whew, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yep, total
That's
shots again at the XG as well. 2.90 as what Fierce has just stated. And Mikel, I don't know, is he delusion?
Oh, with
is he deluded with the comments?
With the comments,
the post-match stating that Arsenal were the better side?
No, he said like the best team in the competition just went.
Oh, okay.
The best team in the competition.
The best team in the competition.
So he's a lot more than
not just this match,
but
in the competition.
He's borderline.
I think.
But what do you say about Mikel stating all those stuff, and then for the Arsenal fans? I think after such a match, two-legged, excellent duel between Arsenal, Paris Saint-Germain, and then the manager comes out with such statement. I think it's not accepting defeat in a graceful way. There is a way for certain managers to act after such a game. But when you say that Arsenal is playing the best brand of football, Arsenal is better than Paris Saint-Germain over 2 legs, I think that is a strange statement, because it's not. You can see on the pitch. The problem is, I think, in the first leg without Thomas Partey. That was problematic for Arsenal, for that midfield, for Declan Rice to play a bit more deeper, and not making Lewis Kelly playing that part of Thomas Partey and let Declan play his normal position, number 8. But it's the start of something very bad for Arsenal. And then coming to the second leg, first 15 minutes, they should have scored, but they didn't. It should be a different game if Declan Rice scores the goal, or even if Bukayo Saka
doesn't miss that
open
sitter,
goal chance, that sitter. So but for Mikel coming like that, saying all the stuff that he says, I think it's just strange. It's like a Twilight Zone.
No, it's strange. I get it, because I did the review for the website this morning, and then when the post match comments, like they put it in the BBC website, I was just like, is this right? I tried to search it from two sources just to clarify. Oh, he did say something like this, because it's not normal for a manager to say stuff like that. It really is like not accepting the defeat in a way that you appreciate what Luis Enrique has done, like winning a football match. How can you say the best team in the competition got out when you obviously even Aston Villa can like pipe them more than this. Even Liverpool can make it,
because Villa has the better manager.
Because Villa has the better manager.
Liverpool second leg, I think PSG was there for the taking for Aston Villa, but not for Arsenal.
But not for Arsenal, and they lost both legs. I think if you compared the XG numbers, it maybe they said that we can go with this, we can score and he says that we can score 3, it could be 3-0 in the first 30 minutes. What
there's could be in the end of the sentence. Could be.
No, I think it's not the way to go. I think maybe you think like he tried to distract from the team, like get the criticism is on me and not the team. Like
No, I
he's
think the
trying
team
to
is fine.
protect.
I think
So
the
he's
team
not
is
trying.
fine.
He's not trying to protect the
I think
squad.
the team
no.
is fine with the
No.
result. I think
Yeah.
both matches, the two
Yeah, you
legs
know,
were
'cause-
excellent.
Yeah.
And they're all in that second leg for all the
Yeah.
Arsenal players. But if you look at the substitutions, if you're going to get a result, a win
Yeah.
at the Parc des Princes, and then you go like for like with just minutes away from defeat, that is just
Yeah.
something strange.
Yeah.
You change your two wing backs with a similar type of player, but then you have Nerazzurri on the bench.
Yeah, Nerazzurri on the bench, and avenue that they're going through is like just throw the balls into the.
I mean, I don't have a problem
central area.
with long throws.
Yeah,
but this is the elite competition.
semi-final of
Elite
the
competition.
Champions
You have
League,
Arsenal,
yeah.
the elite team,
And
so
the
they
elite
say.
team, yeah.
Yeah.
This is not. We're talking about the Stoke Cities, the
Yes, yeah.
Indonesian national side.
Yeah.
We are up and coming.
Yeah.
But this is an established.
This is a team
Yeah.
5 years
You
unto
expected
a
so much
manager.
more.
Yeah.
And then you expect them to sign Pratama Arhan next year
yeah.
to get those long throws, and then
I think
and then,
Arhan Stroll is better than
Better.
Partey. Yeah, yeah. Because he's struggling with that. Yeah.
because he doesn't. Why does
Yeah.
he have to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you can play football. You go for that short throw and you play, and then
Yeah.
you let Odegaard take control. Where's
yeah.
Martin Odegaard? Both
Yeah.
legs.
I think after
he's
the
disappointing after the injury.
Yeah, he's just after that first shot that was saved brilliantly by
Yeah,
Donnarumma.
by
He's nowhere
Gigio,
to be
yeah.
seen, and that's what I said in the regular DPI version. If they want to win, they need Odegaard to be at his best, to be back at the levels that he is capable of before the injuries. I think it's not on him also. I think because maybe there's something changed after the injuries. Maybe he was being accelerated because Arsenal needed him, because we know that he can deliver more. But to play as what we know of him from like the past season, the past 2 seasons, and then just watch him do it like that. I think it's just disappointing for him. But but also I think it's fair. Also, a few Arsenal fans say that maybe this is also an overachievement by the team. I think it's fair to say it like that because Arsenal before 2 or 3 years ago they are absent from the Premier League from the Champions League for a
Champions
They were
very
fighting with
long time.
Tottenham
Yeah.
to get that Europa
To
League
get that,
ticket.
that Europa League tickets. So it's a learning curve.
Yeah.
We know how even Man City struggle when they first come up to be that final 4 teams in the Champions League. It's not easy. It's not easy to get it. It's not easy to be there and to be one of the best 4 teams in Europe. So that's why
It's their third time, right? In the semis, I think.
since
All time.
all time. I mean,
Yeah.
not since, especially not since they were back in the Champions League. After that, I don't know, 6 years, 7 years absence. But I think it's a learning curve. But it is a learning curve. So Arteta should not be so, I don't know, how do you put it, so arrogant, so
Being the main character that he
being
is.
the main character that he is, saying that the best team out of the tournament.
Yeah.
This is a very inexperienced team at this level. Yeah, so it's normal if they go out at this level because the way that he prepared his team and everything, I think going to this semifinals of an overachievement also.
Speaking of Arteta, 5 years in charge and still no trophy. I mean, even Manchester United has
He's
won.
got a-
Well, he's
FA
got an FA Cup, but it's
Carabao.
Unai Emery's
Unai's
FA
team.
Cup,
Yeah.
Unai's team. Yeah.
What exactly is the problem with Arsenal then? Is Arteta underachieving or just pure unlucky?
It's difficult to pinpoint the problem. Maybe it's, I don't know, mentally, because they started to fade coming towards the end of a season in the
Yeah, I
Premier
think-
League, and then they're starting to fade in the second half of matches against Paris Saint-Germain, both legs. So I don't know, because if you say they lack the squad, they lack players.
Squad depth, yeah.
I don't. Agree
I don't
with
think
that.
that's a problem.
Yeah, I don't agree with that because
They have a
they
Premier-
have Trossard on the bench. They have Nerazzurri. They could change matches, and then Trossard did his thing, and he changes the match. So I think in terms of that squad, I think it's okay. They do have a problem with not having a out and out striker.
Yeah, but
Which
it's
I
not
think-
a new problem for them.
Yeah, it's not new, and you can have that players like Nerazzurri to take over, players like Trossard to take over, players like Bukayo Saka who can do
But
his.
do you think like you've got an 18-year-old player on the bench. Yeah,
he's good enough.
Think, like, is he like? I mean, not. I think he's good. Yeah,
he can score goals. He can create chances. He has that swagger. He has that confidence. But he doesn't have the opportunity to show his thing in that second half for Arsenal when they needed him. But then Mikel goes for another wing back and another wing back.
And another wing back. Yeah.
So the risk taking is not there in terms of the jeopardy of the match. So I don't know whether it's tactical for him to feel like it's too big of a chance to take if you put on a player like Nerazzurri who can change situations, who can win matches for you, or in that 5 years with only one FA Cup, and then you can see Erik ten Hag winning 2 cups, and he's not in a job again for Manchester United. Then trying to figure out maybe the problem is with the board, with the ownership, but or maybe Mikel is just a company man.
Do you agree with that, Mas Firzi?
I think injuries play a part, of course, because they have 27 injuries this season. It's a league high. It's almost twice as high as Liverpool, the champions. But also, when you consider they don't have a proper striker, and then your only striker, you got him injured while doing a warm weather training in Dubai, is just ridiculous. And of course, there's also this problem about Edu leaving on the autumn. I think it impacted them somewhat in the January transfer window, because I really sure there's a planning there between Arteta and Edu, and to get the squad amended a little bit, especially on the attacking end. But with him gone, the dynamics change over there. We need to wait how the dynamic between Arteta and Berta in the next summer window. But because Arsenal will finish the season trophyless again. We talked about it, but
trophyless and third.
Trophyless, they finished third in a 2-horse race.
Eventually finishing third is going to be rough for them. With City doing what they're doing
I think
right
City
now.
is on a run of 7 wins and 1 draw in the last 8. So and Haaland is back. So it's very hard.
I'm pretty sure this next question is coming from Abrar. Despite playing beautiful football, was Arsenal just too predictable under the current coach?
I enjoy watching Arsenal, actually. It's just that in terms of the big matches and finishing opportunities and taking such chances, when you look at Bukayo Saka's chance, that XG went off the charts.
0.8. I think
he can't convert that chance, Conchita. And that problem happens almost in the big matches where big players disappears. And the problem with Odegaard now, I don't know whether it's the system that's bothering him, or whether it's looking at his left or right and looking at Declan Rice now, maybe venturing further forward than him. It's a problem for him in trying to create such situation positively in attack situations. So that is something that Mikel needs to sort out, and I think he will have another season because in the next transfer window, that is his opportunity to get his main guy up top, that forward that can score 20-25 goals, and then get that.
But do you think he can do that? I mean, Arsenal
they can do it. It's Arsenal.
No, Arsenal has not been active on the transfer market, selling player wise. I think they need to sell first before they can get that 100 million striker, because they said they wanted that 100 million striker. I don't know who's available. Osimhen? No.
Isak. If you want to get that chip,
he's a 200 million player.
If you want to get that chip, get Isak. He is the guy for Arsenal. He suits the system. He is the type of player that can enjoy playing in that front line of Arsenal. He can be the one who could get goals for Arsenal 2025.
So
he is the guy.
He can head the ball in from a long throw.
That's for Jakub Kiwior.
Right, so that's it for Arsenal. Still from the same match, let's go to PSG for a bit. PSG is finally back after their final in 2020, but this time there's no Neymar, there's no Messi, there's no Mbappe. Do you think PSG is actually better because they don't rely on individual stars, Mas Firzi?
Well, they certainly are better at finishing chances because the xG number for the Dembele goal and the Fabian Ruiz goal each is 0.04 expected goals. That just goes to show how sharp they are, how great the technique are to finish the chance, and those little details that usually matter. But of course, having a player with a high work rate as Kvaratskhelia, as Due, as Barcola, and every player chip in, because we know that PSG struggled with that star syndrome, with that mercenary type of player. I mean, with Neymar, Messi, and Mbappe, it's just like you have the three players who don't want to defend because they have a three, and then the other 7 outfield player just work between themselves to service that tree. But now Enrique, with all his experience, with his philosophy and his great man management skills, he wanted the team to play as a collective. He wanted the team to defend as a collective. Every player worked hard. Dembele, he worked so hard, and he's the type of player that he proved every doubt is wrong. I think Enrique has a problem with him at the start of the season. I think he missed a training, and Enrique give him a suspension for a few games. But then after that, he came back. He shows that he's a pivotal player for the team. 33 goals and 10 assists, I think, in all competition, playing as a false nine. That January signing of Kvaratskhelia is also a genius move. They can move Asensio on, but getting a player that wreaks havoc on the wings is like the type of player that Enrique wants. But what he did was beyond what shows on the pitch. Off the pitch is more important for Paris, a club that was once associated with just all players going there for the money. They only want there because of the high wages, but now everything goes 180. No more bling bling era. As Nasser Khelaifi he said once.
Thank God for the Saudi league. Now everybody's going there for money.
The
for
bling
money,
bling now goes to Saudi league.
Saudi,
And now PSG are starting to become the team that we know they can become. Even back in the mid 90s, they have all those glamorous players, the Patrice Locos, the Rai, the Bernard Lama,
I feel old
Gotti.
hearing that.
You know him?
Do you know David Ginola, Yuri Zhukayev? They all played for PSG. It was a great side. George Weah as well. Ronaldinho. They have that type of selection of players, which is always entertainment first, then results. But now when you see Luis Enrique and you see the start of the season and the trust that the ownership has in him, in that project that is now becoming into a reality of a team that is just not dominating the Ligue 1, but of course the aim is for the Champions League. This is always has become the aim for Paris Saint-Germain to win the Champions League. And now I think they have put themselves in the perfect situation. Before January, before the end of that Champions League early, what do you call that?
The league phase. The league phase.
System.
League phase.
When they have 4 points. No, 3 points out of 4 matches.
I think they finished 15.
And then that defeat against Man City, the 2-0 one. And then the pressure was mounting on Enrique, but he keeps on saying that this is a project and we are going the right direction. It's going to hurt early on. It still hurts for Amorim and Manchester United, right? But now they're going to win the title as well, like Paris Saint-Germain. So when you have that belief in a manager and you give the keys to the team and he builds a team that is not based on superstars but collectivity, teamwork, and you can see the results. That midfield is just excellent. I think the best in the world right now is their midfield with the Vitinhas and how you see now Fabian Ruiz and Neves, and you can see Dembele starting from January. He moves to that center of the attack, and then Kvaratskhelia on the left side. It's just unbelievable, relentless and I think they only have that weakness in the defense. But yeah, you can score 4 goals and still win.
Yeah, I
the
think
match
that
when you
weakness,
got 3 goals in your goal.
that weakness in defense, still something that they need to work about because Marquinhos, he loses the ball too easily.
Yeah.
Into,
He took that risk.
Arsenal.
He took that risk against Arsenal.
He took that risk against Arsenal.
He
He
was looking for the foul.
was looking for the fall, but we know when teams try to win trophies, they need to have better defense. I think with Inter, they have.
That's why International is the.
Yeah, you said it.
Yeah.
You said they're gonna lift the trophy. Right?
They're gonna lift the trophy.
They're gonna lift the trophy.
Right, so let's read some of the comments first. I see that you guys have written some questions. Okay, so this one is from the Satria and the Best Friends. Arsenal are in the market for a new striker this summer and have registered their interest in signing. Who's that name? Schick. Okay.
Patrick Schick.
Patrick Schick, come on.
Patrick Schick. Having
Sampdoria
been
legend.
impressed by the recent eye-catching displays. Is that true?
Patrick Schick. If you are Arsenal and you aim for Patrick Schick, then there is problems.
What?
As great as he is, I love him playing for Sampdoria. He's not the elite striker that you want. He is great. He's good in the air, great with his feet, has an eye for goal, scores a lot of excellent goals for Bayer Leverkusen. But he's not the type of player for Arsenal. Arsenal needs that different bracket, higher bracket, the elite level players.
So not the Sesko also.
Sesko, he needs time. But this is about Arteta doesn't have time anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it will be his sixth. Next year will be his sixth.
This is his last disco.
Okay.
So he has to win a trophy. Either it's the Premier League or the Champions League. But the bread and butter is the Premier League.
Yeah.
So what he has to do now, what management has to do, is get behind Arteta and buy the player that he wants. But if Arteta wants Schick, then he could just go right now. Because that is just not the player for Arsenal.
You think? Yeah.
Patrick Schick, man, come on. For Sampdoria, he was a legend.
Who do you have in mind? Who do you think
go for
would be better?
Isak if you want to win the title.
I think it's just a tad too expensive.
No. Arsenal needs to be in that market along with the cities, the PSGs, the Real Madrids, because they have a club which is located in London, and no player in the world doesn't want to play in London and live in London.
True.
And for Arsenal to get the star that they want up top is crucial. So don't get that, I don't know, B- player. Get that A+ player.
I feel like you're not agreeing with that.
No, I'm just trying to find another name that is an alternative to
Osimhen, Osimhen can do a job for Arsenal. But when you look at the skill set, then Alex Isak, he's protecting Isak. From getting away from Newcastle.
Yeah,
you can say goodbye to him in Singapore. You can say goodbye to Isak.
Yeah,
like
are you going to live in Singapore?
Yeah, bought the tickets already here.
I'll hug you and hold
nice.
you. And we say goodbye to Isak. And Isak can go to the other hotel, the Arsenal hotel.
And then I found you having coffee with Isak. Isak over there in the lobby.
I'm planning to go swimming with Isak. In the very cold swimming pool they have at the hotel. I once swam with Julian Draxler, and it was crazy. I went with 3 of my friends, and
oh my god,
all 3 of my friends
of course
got a fever afterwards because it was so cold. It was a recovery pool, and we went.
Oh yeah, the recovery pool is like ice water.
It was insane.
What are you doing?
Because we want to talk to Draxler and Thomas Tuchel and everybody.
It's the sacrifice they need to make in order to have a conversation with them.
So again,
I think it was
for
pretty
Arsenal,
worth it.
Patrick Schick, not a great idea. Patrick Schick will be perfect for Burnley.
Okay, moving on to another question. Let's see what you guys have. It doesn't matter. The most important thing is to have 2 handphones. Okay, I'm not going to say anything about that. I'm not going to say anything about that.
He's on his way back to Indonesia. Yeah, he's vacationing.
Can we scroll down a bit?
He needs his 2 phones there.
Okay, anything else? I can't really see.
Arsenal fans, what was that?
Oh, Arsenal fans are hurting because Liverpool win the Premier League, Newcastle win the Carabao Cup, Man United and Spurs are going to the Europa League final, Chelsea are going to the
UCL final. So what do you think, Fizzy and Conchita, if Tottenham wins the Europa League? Would Tottenham have the better season?
Oh my god.
Of course.
Of course not.
Of course, yes.
It's the Europa League.
But he goes to the Champions League.
But that is not better than what Arsenal has.
But gets the trophy. And Postecoglou always says his second season. Yeah,
I don't agree. I don't agree. I think what Mikel has done, of course, being second to Liverpool or third under Liverpool and Man City, or even how many straight seasons behind Man City, but still, it's a great achievement for Arsenal, for Mikel, for what he has built for Arsenal, for having that chance to play in that semi-finals, for having that chance to be beaten by Newcastle in a certain way.
No, but I think with the amount of resources that he has had, and
800 million,
the time that he's being afforded, with the profile of team that
it's the Europa League.
No, his coach.
It's a lower quality of competition.
No, but it's a trophy.
Teams that are, I think, located in the planets of Star Wars, and teams
between where?
The Lord of the Rings book. Bodo Glimt, a team straight from Lord of the Rings.
I think trophy is a trophy, but I think it will be important.
The quality of the trophy, the weight of the trophy.
So are you like gonna celebrate second place all the time, or?
But it's better than just performing in the Europa League finals.
You think so? I'm still on the opinion that winning the trophy with Europa League,
potentially the finalists are teams in the bottom half of the Premier League. That says something about the competition.
No, but it always like that. I think I heard somewhere that like almost every winner of the Europa League, they sacrifice their league positions. I think Eintracht Frankfurt, like in the 10th or 11th place when they won. Sevilla also, I think because just the nature of the competition, and not a lot of those teams can afford to play being in two front at the same time.
That says a lot about Manchester United. And the amount of money they spend, they build that squad. And then you are left with a place in the Premier League that is unthinkable. After defeat again.
Okay, so moving on from that topic, of course, we're gonna talk about the other semi-final. But before that, please let me remind you guys again that you can ask your own questions on the comment sections. We're gonna answer it. You can write it down in.
Or you can phone in. Maybe you can phone in.
Phone a friend. Or you can call me. If you have my number, you can call me. You can have a chat directly with Mas Firzi and Adi. And you can also buy some of our selected items. We have some recommendations for you to buy. We have the link on our description box below. I'm not really sure what the items are, so you can just check it out yourself. But anyway, the other semi-final from the Champions League, Barcelona and Internazionale Milan. Okay, where is it? Okay, I'm losing track of my script. Okay, so it was literally a football movie. Some say it was like the perfect cinema, the perfect match, the perfect semifinal. Some even said that it was supposed to be the final.
If it happens in the final, it won't be like that.
Yeah, you think so?
Finals are finals.
The
pressure is going to be different.
One-off match, sometimes a bit more boring than others. So I've been to a few finals where it was horrible to watch.
Okay. So these are the match stat. 4-3 was the score. Internazionale Milan going to the final.
I think it's crazy. I think
it is. I'm still at a loss for words,
I think it's a generational game. I don't think you can get a lot than this. The way Hansi Flick set up his team, it's what you call it? It's a blessing for us football fans, for us neutral.
Where have we seen that highline before? Oh yeah, Ange Postecoglou talking.
It's like the better version of Postecoglou's Tottenham, but I think he will learn from this. I think he learned that you cannot play like this in a semi-final.
But I think that's the fun part of Hansi Flick and why I enjoy his teams. I've always said to you that game against Spain, Luis Enrique's Spain in the World Cup, that is how football is supposed to be played: entertaining, fun, intense, high octane, and people playing freely, players playing with their capabilities and having fun on the pitch. And you can see Hansi Flick has never changed, actually. When you can see Zula, a player in that form and that type of physicality, playing from the central of defense, going forward to the right side of offense. That is like what Jules Koundé is playing, but sadly Barca can't play him in the second leg because of the injury.
Yeah.
So I think this is a way that Hansi will not change, but Hansi needs to buy maybe a couple of defenders and trying to add that experience and trying to cover that space.
Yeah.
And Mickey van der Ven is the way to go.
Ooh, seriously?
Perfect
Yeah,
player
well,
for
perfect
Barcelona.
match, yeah. But when we saw how Barcelona plays, I think they missed two key players in Balde and
Yes,
Jules
of course.
Koundé,
Koundé.
because they can bring more balance. I think Gerard Martin with all his contributions to that game, but I think physically he got done quite a few times, and you can argue whether the Dumfries assist for Acerbi's goal is foul or not, but I think he's got too easily beaten physically. Then I think it's learning curve also for him. But when I see that match, I don't know how long maybe we can wait for another match like that, because I hope all other coaches in Europe follows Hansi Flick and not follow Pep Guardiola now, because Guardiola, for one reason or another, he sabotaged football. He sabotaged football in
In a way, I agree.
in his own way. So maybe more young coaches follow the blueprint from Hansi Flick. It will be great.
You can see the problem with coaches following the Pep blueprint.
The Pep way.
Mikel is struggling, and then Enzo is struggling at Chelsea. So I think the way to go now is to find that balance between that high line and how to protect that back line with maybe a double pivot. But when Barcelona plays with that double pivot, oh my God, Pedri. What a
Pedri,
player.
yeah.
What
I think
a
the
player.
way he glides in midfield, I think the way he just smoothly transition the football, the tight spaces, unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
then
he's
you have-
the
and then you have
best in Europe.
Lamine playing like that. So freely enjoying his game, taking risks. I think this is a problem. Maybe we talk about Arsenal. Odegaard doesn't take that risk.
So we're going back to Arsenal now.
You look at Lamine.
It has to be.
And you look at his age and how he's having fun. He's taking the risk, taking control of matches, and he's not afraid in trying to open up defenses. And when you look at Internazionale, now this is a team. I said to you guys, maybe even in the Bahasa version, that nobody's talking about Internazionale. That is what they want. Simone Inzaghi, of course,
doing business,
of course, in Serie A and in the Copa match. What you said before, they can't concentrate on three competitions. They tried it. They tried it before earlier in the season when they are playing in the cup competition, using a different side than the one in the Serie A.
Because their treble dream is still alive until like last month. I think. But at the end of the day, I said it also on the Barca version that when they are all fit, this Inter team is the perfect antidote for how Barcelona plays. But then we got that injuries to Lautaro. We got Dumfries also not. It's not a for sure starter before the first leg
of the hamstring injury.
Because of the hamstring. Thuram also, they've got loads of Inzaghi needs to manage the game time for his team. That's why they're struggling in Serie A. I think they've played 55 games this season compared to their rival in Serie A, Napoli. They only have the league games to worry about. I think when they can fight that fatigue, I think they are the perfect team to play this. And tactically, Inzaghi got it spot on. The way he set up his team to defend more to the left to try to counter Yamal, even though they failed a few times. So easily the conversation can change if not for that 3 magnificent saves from Yann Sommer. Maybe having a different conversation here with Barcelona going through to the final. But the way that Yamal really took the game by the scruff of its neck. I think he completed 14 dribbles in that game. It's like the most from any player in the Champions League since Neymar in 2015. I think he's again generational player, and he could easily have 2 goals in that Inter match and be the hero for Barcelona. But Yann Sommer, he's fantastic.
Yann Sommer we know from the Gladbach days.
Yeah.
On how great he is, especially in matches against Bayern. But then when he plays for Bayern, he was horrible.
He was horrible.
Yeah, something is behind that. But
It's like,
when you look at the competition and
Yeah.
you found out that the key components for teams is Gigio Donnarumma, is Yann Sommer, so you know that in this elite situation where maybe a slight detail is key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can see Sommer with a lot of great saves.
Yeah.
I think 3 maybe was supposed to be a goal for Barcelona, and then how he is so cool about the situation, and then I think the composure that he has, absolutely brilliant. So I think internationally with Dumfries fresh, he is the key. He brings that energy, brings that press, that high octane movement that he always does, and he gets into spaces where he can finish.
Yeah.
So both wings for Internazionale is brilliant. It's now how to use Di Marco better. Maybe that is just the slight problem because Di Marco maybe fitness-wise is not very very fit at the moment, and Simone Inzaghi is trying to figure out and trying to manage his time on the pitch. But the cover is Augusto, the Emperor. He's top quality.
Yeah,
He is top
because he
quality.
came in and he did a better job than Di Marco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you look at Inter's bench, all of them coming in makes the difference. And
Yeah.
Frattesi, this is
The
not his
substitutes,
first
yeah.
time
The substitutions.
in getting a victory in such crucial moment for Internazionale. So Inzaghi knows who to rely on in such conditions, and all of his players, even Taremi, did a great job for Inter in trying to get that win and turn things around because they were out 3-2 down. They were out.
Yeah.
I talked to Rafinha's manager, and Rafinha was so sad
Yeah.
because they know that they have to kill the game, but they were too positive. And Hansi Flick, maybe one mistake that he did was trying to protect that back line from a red card, which is Inigo Martinez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he
Go ahead,
was
go ahead.
on a yellow card and he was fuming it at halftime.
Yeah.
So maybe Hansi was trying to protect the squad, but in terms of protecting the squad, he took out one of the most crucial leader in that back line
Yes.
and trying to organize
Yeah.
towards the end of the game. And so I don't know, maybe
No, but he
Rafinha was
he did
criticizing
it.
Hansi Flick a
He
bit.
did it with knowing that perhaps I think he can ask more of Araujo. I think Araujo
You
coming
can't
in
ask
from-
more of Araujo at this moment.
He thought he
At
could.
this moment.
He thought he could.
He
ask
thought
more.
he thought he
Yeah,
could.
he thought he could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You came in.
But
You do the
apparently-
job. Yeah, you're the leader.
Yeah.
But-
But Araujo of a couple of seasons ago, I trust.
Ah,
Yeah.
Not
But
now.
now,
no.
yeah. So that's why a lot of sound in the media said that they are trying to get Jonathan Tah from Leverkusen because
Along with a
that's
couple
what,
of more clubs.
that's what Adi says. They need more help at the
Experience, yeah.
back line. They need
Yeah.
more experience. Kubarsi, as good as he is, is still like 18 years old. It's not 18 months ago that he played at the Under-17 World Cup here in Indonesia, in Jakarta International Stadium. A great player then and a great player now. I thought that his tackle, the conversation with Arsene Wenger when he said like, I don't like the slow mo when the slow mo.
Yeah, I don't like when Arsenal is talking about rules.
Yeah, but
gonna
because
change
it's
the
a
offside
different
and
time. Yeah,
everything.
because it's a different time.
that is
with
clearly a
Arsene
foul.
Wenger. Yeah, because the smart way of Lautaro using his right leg to protect the ball.
Yeah.
As good as the tackle is at real time.
Did Arsenal
when
say
you
something
can
about Lewis Kelly's handball? Come on.
Yeah, did he say something? No?
I hope not.
Hopefully not.
I didn't saw it, but with the game as it is, when it's like after the second goal, after Dani almost goal, I think Inter just comes to shit. I think they don't
Yeah.
have any answer. I think when the game is at 76 minutes or thereabout, Inter only completed 4 passes in Barcelona's half. At that point of the game, it was game lost for them because they don't have any answers. But yeah, especially when but they found a way through Acerbi, and it's a great storyline also for his career, right? The
Yeah.
way he was,
I live
Yeah.
at Cherry.
yeah, with the all
Problems
his
at Lazio.
hardships,
Yeah.
Lazio, Milan, and to be that number 9 when Thuram himself has problems to get on the pitch, and the way he finishes the chance, I mean,
Yeah.
come
Yeah, it
on,
was
it's not even his
beautiful.
strongest foot, right?
Not even.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
even.
but we've seen him doing that, and you can put that picture at the Louvre. That was a classic one from Acerbi, and great saves from Yann Sommer and Simone Inzaghi. What a manager! And I think it's something that's I don't know. It's written in the stars when Napoli is potentially going to be the champion. International will be the Champions League champion.
Yeah.
The last time they were champions.
Yeah,
Napoli
2010,
were
right?
Serie A champions.
Seriously, 2010?
No. Yeah.
Abra said, I think so.
That's
Is that
a
Abra?
travel season.
Yeah.
That's a travel season for Jose Mourinho.
Yeah.
Especially just going back to that travel season, because this is the oldest Inter Milan lineup after that travel season.
Yeah.
So the experience that they have, the know-how that they have, Acerbi 37, Sommer, Mkhitaryan 36, Darmian 35, De Vrij 33, and Calhanoglu at 31. This, I mean, if you compare the amount of experience that they have with the amount of experience that as good as they are, I mean, Gavi,
Barcelona.
Pedri, Barcelona, they are still a very young side.
Yeah.
Hector Ford coming in again, an alumni of the Under-17 World Cup.
Yeah.
I think there will be good things will happen for this.
And
Barcelona.
especially if Barcelona don't wear this jersey, it's just horrible.
Why? What's wrong with this
I
jersey?
really
So
dislike
bad.
this jersey
That
as
is
well.
so
I don't
bad.
like it.
I don't find it.
He says kenapa sih?
I don't find it strange.
I don't like it at all. I don't
That's
like
just
it. They
horrible.
blend with the grass. Come
Yeah.
on.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
They kind of are. They kind of are.
This is
When
like a It's
I
like
mean, you're a
This is
Jersey
just
man.
not-
You're
I
a
don't-
Jersey connoisseur.
I have this jersey, but I don't like
Connoisseur?
it.
How do I?
Connoisseur.
Connoisseur, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm in the
I personally, as a person of fashion, I just don't like it. I just don't like it. I don't collect jersey that much, but I just don't like it.
Call me old-fashioned, but I don't like that.
Yeah.
that
What do you think about the
lime green.
Cactus Jack jersey though coming out?
It's way
The Travis
if
Scott
you-
ex
if you-
Barcelona?
I think Travis Scott. That ship has sailed.
I think Travis Scott
I
is
think
still
it's a bit
relevant. I
too
think he's
late.
that
He's
Fortnite.
still relevant.
He's that Fortnite guy,
Yeah,
right?
and then
Yeah,
we
he
talk
is.
about that
He is.
Coldplay jersey.
They should have gone
that
with
ship has
A$AP
sailed
Rocky,
12 years
actually.
ago. So the collaboration is just, I don't
Yeah.
know. When you look at collaborations and you want to get money from it,
Yeah, I think it's just the
fun fact-
the sad state of affairs for Barcelona now. Like they make all these jerseys to sell like maybe six set of jerseys for the
Fun fact: it was a battle between Taylor Swift or Travis Scott. So
Why not Taylor?
that's not a win-win.
are
battle,
you
man.
sure?
No, I don't know why.
Are you?
So
are
it's
you-
not hit better? I don't know.
No, I don't. I don't think that would be better.
I don't think that would be better.
So I'm just relieved that it's Travis Scott instead of Taylor.
Maybe just don't pick both.
Benar.
Anyway, we have a donation. We have a sawer, guys. What do you call sawer in English?
Donation.
Sawer. Thank you for donating, Johannes Kurniawan. He has a question as well. PSG versus Inter was. Oh, I don't think it's a question. It's more
It's
of
a
a statement.
statement.
PSG versus Inter was proof that football is an art, not a
Yeah.
theory. Oh,
Cool. I agree with
yeah.
that.
I have to agree with that.
Yeah, put it in the
Yeah,
Louvre.
put it in the roof, record it with your VHS tapes and put it in the library.
PSG,
Watch it when you're
Inter.
bored.
Art
Yeah.
and not theory.
Art and
But
not
Yeah.
theory.
Both managers has their own theory of playing football.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's different,
And it's different.
and it's gonna be fun. Hopefully.
Of course. Yeah.
Okay, so that is it from the Champions League. Still looking forward to the final, of course. But now I think it's time for us to move to the next subject, which is Madrid's future. Xabi's claim, calm, sorry. It says claim.
Xabi's
It's
claim.
calm. Xabi's
Alonso.
calm and trans crosses. Right, so
Wow, what a word. Trans crosses.
crosses.
Wow.
We're talking about the
You learn
potential
every day.
arrival of Xabi Alonso and Trent Alexander-Arnold. But is Madrid really ready for both? Let's get into it. First thing first, with Carlo Ancelotti reportedly stepping down soon, all eyes are now on a certain Madrid legend, Xabi Alonso. We talked about that on our previous episode. Some of you have your own doubts about Xabi Alonso.
We both went for Jurgen Klopp.
So has that thought changed, or maybe you have a different perspective now?
For me, I
Any
think
other opinions?
what has to change is the mindset of Florentino Perez first. because Real Madrid right now is
scratch that. He will not change.
He will not change.
Scratch that.
Yeah.
We cannot replace him. We cannot.
Yeah.
But for Florentino Perez, being the guy for Real Madrid, the big boss, and then to have this, I don't know, season where I think it's very poor for Real to criticize the referee, and then this Super League thingy that he has, I don't know whether it's still on or off. It's affecting him, but there's a certain class where Real always puts everything first class when they dominate the Champions League, La Liga, but now they've become, I don't know, a strange team that is not supposed to act like this, because when you remember when the likes of Luis Figo, even though the transfer was
highly controversial also. But it was a promise for his candidacy, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And then when you look at stars coming in from the likes of Ronaldo, Zizou, and even like Michael Owen, McManaman, they always have this book of how to act like a Real Madrid player. And now you look at Rudiger. That is not a Real Madrid player as supposed to act, because this is one of the best club with tradition in world football, and they are not acting like a Real Madrid player. So this is something that has to be changed first before we talk about Xabi Alonso, because if Xabi goes in and the culture is like this, it's problematic for a young up-and-coming manager who has that pedigree of an ex-Real Madrid player, ex-Bayern Munich player, Liverpool legend as well.
And
you
Spain
come,
legend.
Spain, and you come in to that locker room and you see all this, I don't know, brats in that locker room.
I think it will be a problem for him.
And then you look at the boss, and the boss now is like the biggest brat of them all. Once he was so legendary, but now it's starting to become something very strange.
Losing out of touch?
Maybe. So if Xabi Alonso goes into that environment, what can he do? Can he have that control? I don't think so. Can he get players that he wants? I don't think so. Even now, when you look at Florian Wirtz, maybe the one that can come to Real with him, he's not in that boat. So,
But we're not sure yet. There's still a talk that he will come to Real Madrid.
But if you look at the locker room, not all of the players will be on board with Xabi Alonso. And then when you look at right now, in terms of Ancelotti, this is one of the greatest manager of all. And then you have 2-3 players coming from his backside to Florentino Perez and says, I'm not playing, I want to play in a certain system, and this manager is not doing it for me. And look at Mbappe. Was that Ancelotti signing?
Of course not. No. Because he has that trio, it's working so well. Working very well, and then Florentino just being Florentino.
When Ancelotti tries to, as great as Karim Benzema is, but he was trying to get him out because the system is not working, and then he has a system that works with those 3 excellent front men, and with Jude Bellingham as well last season playing at his utmost best, and now you have another problem in trying to figure out a position for Kylian Mbappe, which is a great player but doesn't always suit the system.
Do you think he will? Do you think that Vinicius will be sacrificed for Mbappe? I also think that also because with the dynamic as it is in Real Madrid, that front four is not working. Rodrigo, Bellingham, Vini, and Mbappe.
2 is going.
2 is going. I think
Vini and Rodrigo.
Vini and Rodrigo. Because 3 of them has proved it well so far last season. But when Mbappe came in, he changed the dynamic so much that the team malfunctioned as it is. Arsenal, like winning against Real Madrid, they're already changed. But this is champions.
The champions. We're going back to that first segment.
Back to that best
we're going to talk about Mikel and Arsenal.
Always going to go back to
becoming
Arsenal,
champions.
guys.
The Real Madrid now is not Real Madrid
that.
last season because of that dynamic in the front 3. If and when Xabi Alonso came in, he will implement what he did at Leverkusen, of course. One of the main aspects in Leverkusen is the way they press high in the pitch. Like can you?
Good luck for pressing high with Kylian Mbappe.
Pressing high with
Good luck
Mbappe
with that.
and Vinny Jr. You press. No, I don't want to,
I don't
boss.
think that's
I don't
gonna
want to,
happen.
boss.
I just wanna go
Yeah, I
on
don't
the
want to
right
jog.
On the
Yeah.
left.
So if
Give me the ball.
that's the case, yeah, just let me handle one of those players, Mbappe
Yeah.
or Vinny, not both of them.
Not both.
And they can get a decent amount of money for Vinny.
Yeah.
If Saudi Arabia come in and try to buy him, it's maybe 100 million euros.
Al Nassr.
Al Nassr can.
Because Hilal is going for Bruno Fernandes.
No, it's up
18 plus million.
to PEF, right? PEF get all the players, and you go here, you go there, you go here, you go there. But yeah, as I said, at one or two maybe from the front four will go on. We still don't know also about the future of Endrick. There will also be rebuilding there, because the backline, if we talk about how bad the backline in Barcelona is, Real Madrid backline also. Oh, and speaking about the way they whine about referees, if you follow the after last night's game, after Barcelona and Inter's game, a lot of Barcelona players are very, very disappointed. They put it on the referee. The Pedri, Gavi, I think a lot of them said there's a conspiracy between behind this. They don't want us to play in the final, blah blah blah. So they need to investigate this referee. And I find it real strange. Players that are so young, like they attack referees so openly after the game.
Emotions.
Young blood.
Young blood. Exactly.
Young blood,
So other than Xabi Alonso, the other name that has been quite exciting for Real Madrid is also obviously Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Who signs him? The manager is not even there yet.
Jude Bellingham.
Jude Bellingham.
Yeah.
Xabi Alonso is not even in control yet. You don't have a manager there. I think Carlo is not even officially is not going to become a Real manager next season. But you have Trent that they agreed maybe in January. That's what they're talking about. And what do you think about Trent playing at Real Madrid? Because potentially he's going to be the guy who's going to take the place of Dani Carvajal. And Dani Carvajal, as a defender, is just so relentless, hardworking, always covers the space. And when he goes forward, Trent has that quality. But defending-wise, Trent doesn't have that trait that Dani Carvajal has. And for Real in transition, they need a defender that is strong both ways. So this is, I don't know. But if you want to sell jerseys, it's fine.
I think he will fit in. I think he will fit in good, because the way Real Madrid plays behind the lines, with Trent Arnold's famously line-breaking balls, I think the way that they play,
Trent, the Liverpool legend.
It will be a great addition to the team, just because after Cruz left, there's no one to play that long diagonal balls and long diagonal passes. That's what Real Madrid plays. Sometimes they needed that ball. Players like Tchouaméni, like Camavinga, they cannot provide that as good as they are with their own traits. But that one type of player that can give long balls, they really need players like that. We see a few times Fede Valverde playing at right back also. When he plays there, he also tries to get that ball behind the lines. Will be a great addition, I think, for Real Madrid. Provided they can have that one anchor player to help him on the defensive phase of
Who's
game. Tchouaméni can play there.
Tchouaméni's going to Arsenal.
Tchouaméni going to Arsenal. Where did you get that?
You heard it first.
From agent.
You hear
Rafinha's agent.
From some agent that he had coffee with, apparently.
Or did you swim with?
Tchouaméni is aiming for a move to the Premier League.
Tchouaméni?
Yes.
Anyway, we got another sawer
Yay.
from Zango Jack. He said, I think Arsenal again. Okay, I think Arsenal still needs striker with goal poacher character to clear piece of the puzzle in their team. Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Sure,
We talk about Isak, we talk about Osimhen, and don't forget, if you have ambition, there is a player who is a childhood fan of Arsenal.
Who?
Mr. Hurricane.
Seriously?
Perfect ending to a career. And winning the Premier League with Arsenal.
You know the term burning bridges? With the help of London.
With the help
I think
With the help of
Hurricane,
London, yeah.
if Arsenal asks, he will join them.
Seriously? You don't
Yeah.
think that, I mean, with all his connection to Tottenham?
He's an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, I know, but...
He will play for Arsenal. He will give his best and win that chip.
Do you have this like
you think
insider
that's
trading or?
If Arsenal goes for him, he will come. I am certain. And even for Isak, if Arsenal is serious, I think his chance of joining Arsenal is bigger than Liverpool.
It depends. In the past, it will depend
decided on
the next 3 matches.
For Newcastle.
If Newcastle failed to get to the Premier League, I think anything can
To the Champions
happen with Isak. Yeah, if they fail.
But
to
I
get
think there's a situation that is different for Newcastle because they're owned by the Saudis.
Yeah, of course.
They don't need to sell him.
No, but PSR thingy.
Yeah, but PSR, you can have like Isak to be your main guy, and then you deal with the cards with the other players.
Losing
because Newcastle's not a selling team.
But losing Yankuba Minte and Elliot Anderson, it just still hurts. I mean, we really needed those players, and because PSR, I think
You still have Livramento. You can go and work things out with Livramento. With a couple of more players. Bruno Guimaraes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
no.
To Man City.
Oh, come on.
Going
Tonali
back,
to Real Madrid also. Oh no.
going back to Trent Alexander-Arnold, we also have a question from Supri Antono. I hear from Pundit DPI regular who he said TAA is the best right back right now.
Who's that?
Rizal ini pasti Rizal. Siapa
That's
lagi?
because he supports
That's the guy.
Is that you,
That's the
Rizal?
guy.
Are you watching this right now?
Pasti.
Okay.
He's having his party downstairs.
That party.
Yeah.
Right, so Supri cannot accept that statement. He said, I think Dumfries or Hakimi to become best. Oh, I think it'll be best for Dumfries or Hakimi to complete the team. What do you think, guys?
To complete the team, what do you mean by that? For Real to get Hakimi?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Hakimi is a local Madrid guy, so if Real wants him back, he will play for Real Madrid.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Without a shadow of a doubt. But
Do you think it's better than TAA?
Hakimi, a better player, of course.
Of course, yeah.
But
Okay.
Yeah.
but
That was quick. That was a
That
quick
was
answer.
yeah, but Real, they're going for that Hollywood signing.
Yeah.
And
the
they like
big
to hurt
names.
the competitor.
Flashy,
They're going-
flashy.
They
Yeah.
like to hurt teams that's trying to maybe trouble them in the Champions League because if Trent is still with Liverpool, because I do think that if Liverpool, they have kept Mo Salah, they've kept Virgil. Sadly, they parted
had to
company
let go.
with
Yeah.
Trent. If Trent stays there, they will dominate the Premier League for the next 2 seasons, and they will have that chance to win the Champions League for next season.
Did Hakimi came from the youth system
Real.
at Real Madrid?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Real Madrid.
Yeah, kan? Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
he's a great player.
Yeah.
So you don't agree with Rizal's statement that
What, Trent is better than
Trent is
Hakimi
better.
and Dumfries?
Trent,
No.
no.
no,
No, but Trent has his what do you call it? Trent has his
signature
positivity.
or
Yeah, he
Positivity
has
in terms of
positivity and everything.
delivering
He has his
quality.
qualities. Yeah, he
Yeah.
has
Okay.
his qualities. But if you want to be the best right back in the world, you need to have that defensive aspect better than him. I think it's
Maybe
like
he wants
the
to be
most-
called as a midfielder or a winger, not a right back.
You've
or a
right back.
seen
wing back.
him as a midfielder in the Euros, right?
Yeah, it doesn't work for him.
It doesn't work.
He has to go back to his position, right?
Yeah.
And he has to do his job, which is what? Defend first.
Defend first.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. Defense first. Give long balls second. But the priorities with him is like turn. Yeah. With Hakimi, you know that he can defend well and he can support the attack also in the same bracket of category. I
Hakimi,
think with
the man of the match from last
Hakimi,
time.
man of the match.
Yeah.
Yeah. They voted him the man of the match. True.
And Dumfries with his physicality, he's like an alien. He's like the LeBron James of right back.
Yeah, because
he has that stature,
he built
that height, the
differently.
build,
Yeah,
and then he can dribble, he can go past defenders, and then he can go and become a goal scorer in set pieces or even in open play. So Dumfries has all the traits, defending wise, also I think better than Trent. But if you're looking for a guy who can impact that final third with passes, high quality passes, then Trent is the guy.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rizal, we're going to have to disagree with your statement. Do you have any more questions from you, Jebret team? Let's see.
Arsenal fans, where are they?
Satria and the best friends. Another question. How about Rodrigo, guys? Will he leave Real Madrid?
He will.
Adi says
Andy
yes.
thinks he will.
Yeah, he will.
Rodrigo
Yeah.
and Fini.
I think one
I
of
think
those.
both.
One of them?
I think both. I think both.
For me, it's just one, either of them.
I think Rodrigo will go to
the
the Premier League, and with the money that Fini wants, it's got to be Saudi.
I think there's a rumor that says Arsenal also eyeing Rodrigo.
Well, that's okay if they can find the money to offload Gabi Jesus to Saudi.
Again, Saudi.
Yeah, they need to offload Gabi Jesus,
Yeah.
maybe for 50, 60 million, and then the
that's a
potential to
lot of
sign
money.
Rodrigo, which is an upgrade from
course,
Gabi Jesus. Yeah.
More of a central striker, more of a poacher.
We have to knock on Berta's door and help
Oh
him.
yeah, and Bertas has that history of signing big profile strikers, so it makes sense if they come in for a striker in the La Liga. Maybe there's talks also about potentially getting Julian Alvarez from Atletico Madrid, even though it's difficult. But if they have the money and the willingness, perhaps, we never know. If they offered players to Atletico, maybe they will accept. It's still like a very developing situation. We still don't know.
Where are the Arsenal fans? I'm still curious.
Yeah,
are they
where
watching?
are you guys?
We need a response from you
They're in their
guys.
cage.
Because I want to know whether you guys are still on board with Mikel, or is it Mikel out, or what have you?
Yeah, Mikel out, Mikel in.
And what happened?
Yeah.
What
Team
happened?
Mikel.
Yeah, I'm Team Mikel too.
Yeah.
But maybe the Arsenal fans are fed up with him, maybe.
Yeah.
Because they are the almost team right now,
Yeah.
and also
Or maybe if they need
the
someone
long throw team.
Yeah, the long throw, or if they need someone to change the light bulbs in the.
Stop! I
in the
saw
dressing
that
room.
from your story, and I was like,
No, it's so funny. It's so funny. I think it's so funny. So hilarious. Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah.
Yeah, we want
The
Arsenal
way he to motivate the team. Yeah, he
Yeah,
got his
epic.
own ways to
Epic.
motivate
Yeah,
the team.
yeah, it's on Amazon, right?
No, it's Amazon. It's
Yeah.
Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's Prime.
And it's the Prime account that first put it up also
Yeah,
after the
if
game.
if you look at bits from the show, it's hilarious.
Seriously?
Hilarious.
It is.
Like Mikel, I love you, but the
Please stop,
the
yeah.
dog thing, and then the light bulbs,
And You'll Never Walk Alone
Oh,
sound.
yeah, and
after-
the stay humble thingy,
Yeah.
and for
Heavy on that. Stay humble.
Miles Kelly, I told
Yeah, because-
you guys that they have
yeah.
to be humble. This is not the
Yeah.
way to go.
Not the way.
And look at what they are experiencing
Yeah,
right
I think
now.
it came down from the coach, right? The coach, like you saw and heard what he said in the media.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it translates to the players, and they also with the mindset that we're the best in this tournament. We don't go out like this. It's not fair
Yeah.
for us. So I think it plays also in the mind of the players.
But anyway, some people has been asking about you guys' prediction for tonight's match. Manchester United
Oh, I
against
thought it was the championship
Athletic
playoffs.
Bilbao.
I prefer to watch the championship playoffs.
Who was it? Who
We've
will
got
be
Bristol
playing?
City, we've got Coventry, Sheffield United.
Oh,
Yeah.
Frank Lampard.
Lampard's
Frank
Coventry,
Lampard's
and the
Coventry,
turnaround of the second half of the
because
season.
they're at the bottom of the
Yeah.
championship table. Yeah.
Well, the comments have been mentioning the match against Manchester United
Man
and
United.
Athletic Bilbao. So,
Oh, without the Williams brother,
Nobody's playing for
without
Bilbao.
any predictions?
0-0.
So wait,
boring
this is
match,
the
Boring
Europa
match.
League,
boring
right?
match. Yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything because I know the fans are.
Manchester United all the way to the final. San Mamés.
Sama mess. Yeah.
I'm going to be there.
You will be there.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, let's see.
Can't wait to
who's
see
going to have coffee
Tottenham
with next
against
time.
Coffee,
Manchester United. I hope for
Manchester.
Bodo Glimt to do something because they have that advantage with
And
that pitch.
3-1 is not that big of a.
That artificial pitch could
Yeah.
be a problem for Tottenham.
Tottenham will go to the Arctic Circle to face
Yeah.
Bodo Glimt without the
Matters.
matters. Yeah. Out for the rest of
Out
the season.
for the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so 0-0.
No. United will win.
United will win by
United will win.
1-0
maybe. Yeah.
I think it's disappointing that Athletic cannot give more resistance.
It's a bit of an anticlimax thing.
Yeah,
for Bilbao.
sure. Yeah.
Athletic Club was so good in the
the league phase.
The league phase. Yeah, I was struggling about that league phase. The new format.
The Europa League phase.
The new format is a bit.
I don't think the pressure. They can't get out from that pressure of potentially playing the final in their stadium.
Yeah.
So the performance in that first leg was
horrendous,
lethargic.
Disaster.
Yeah, lethargic to say the least.
Nightmare. Apalagi.
We were
Graveyard.
expecting more.
We were expecting more.
I was expecting more from Lazio, but look at what happened to them against Bodo Glimt. So I'm hoping that Bodo Glimt can come good and do something, because I would hate to see an all Premier League final.
Yeah. So I think that's it for today's DPI English version. Thank you so much for watching Jebret Team, and thank you for being here, Adi.
My pleasure.
Thank you, our pleasure.
We just made history by going live on DPI EV for the very first time. I prefer live, actually. What do you guys think?
I prefer live for every day.
For every day.
Adi go live every day.
Do that, Bang Valen.
After the Bahasa version, we go English version, and we go to the fans in
especially
Singapore.
nearing the round 3 qualification in June. We can talk more about Timnas Indonesia, so our friends in Singapore and Malaysia can know more, can experience.
We can give the pain to the Malaysian friends.
We can give them snippets of what it's like playing in round 3.
And the pleasure of having such a great squad with a great federation. You guys are trying to following the footsteps. You're a bit too late. But we love you.
We love you guys.
So anyway, I think that's it. Thank you so much. Once again, we'll see you guys next week. Hopefully only on DPI EV. Bye guys. Thank you for nyawer as well ya. Makasih juga. Nyawer tuh bingung deh.